Mhm. Kiora, good evening. This is Mary Joseph, and I'm your friendly and frank licensed immigration advisor from AJV Services based in Hamilton. I am, as I said, we're AJV Services, we're an education and migration services company. We are here today. Going to talk about, as I said, this is a new series that we have started. We have started a series called Your Future in New Zealand, mainly to reach out to people who are here in New Zealand, migrants who are here in New Zealand, who are struggling with various different, situations here. If you're studying, if you are studying currently and you would need some direction, if you are an AJV student and you'd like to reach out and understand how things are working on the immigration aspects, if you are on a work visa and unable to understand if you can progress into a resident visa, people who have applied for resident visas would also like to check on things. Anyone who's a non-resident, who's a migrant here in New Zealand, can reach out and ask your questions. So this session is mainly aimed to those who are here in New Zealand. And hence the timing of 3:30 in the afternoon here. So while we wait for people to come in, I don't see any at the moment. But I think there are a few people who have come in, but let's wait for some questions. So I'm just going to start with giving you out my license number. You can go on the on the IAA Immigration Advisors Authority website and verify my license. Everyone providing immigration advice is required to hold a license at all times. It's unlawful to provide immigration advice without license. Right. So we're just gonna, as I said, wait for the questions to come in. In the meantime, we're going to touch upon a few topics uh, around the current scenario with immigration. Okay, what is and what is not, because there's a lot of rumors in the market about policies that are expected to change, about work visa policies, about absolutely everything. Okay, so I'm going to touch upon that. First of all, where has there been a change? Okay, so the change has been with work visas. Okay, so earlier, essential skills work visas, when you're going to apply, you were assessed based on a table or a classification which is called ANSCO. Okay, so if you are on skill level 1, 2, and 3, then you will be considered a mid level or a high level. And if your job is in a lower skill level, so each job has an occupation code, and that is based on your job description. Okay, so if your job is of a lower skill, that is between 3, anything below 3, then you're considered low skill. Anything between 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3, are mid and high skill. Now, so if so earlier, depending on that, visas were issued. Now the policy change is that there are no the mid whether you're high skilled or mid skilled or low skilled will be determined based on salary. ANSCO will not be referred to henceforth. Earlier, it was based on your occupation and what is the relevant ANSCO code. But when it comes to ANSCO code now, it is just based on salary. Okay, just give me a second, guys. If I'm just trying to mute something that was pinging constantly in the background. Okay, so if your salary is meeting the median salary of 2550, this is the current policy. If your salary is meeting the median salary of 2550 and above, then you will be considered a medium or a high skill. If it is less than 2550, you're straight away a low skill. Okay, respect of what the ANSCO relevant code is, it is irrelevant now with the new policy. But one thing I think a lot of people are missing the point is the requirement of advertising, is the requirement of showing to immigration that your employer has genuinely attempted to find a New Zealander for that role, which they are basically you are applying for. That is mandatory. That has not changed, because a lot of people are thinking that, okay, if you are having 2550 and above, I don't need to provide advertising. That's not the fact. We don't have to prove that there were no New Zealanders applying for the same role. So this is a requirement which hasn't changed. Okay, now if you are having a salary below 2550, then the main thing is that um, that your employer will have to provide evidence that they have advertised and they have made attempts to find New Zealanders. Else, apart from that, they will also have to show a skill match report. Now, the skill match report is something that the work and income department provides, a skill match report where they check for people who are in their list. Work and income also makes efforts to ensure that New Zealanders are employed. So work and income runs through their profiles to see if there's anyone who fits those position, and only then they will confirm to the employer saying, hey, you know what, there's nobody fit in this position in our list of people, so you can now go ahead and advertise on a national platform. So that advertising, the biggest problem with the low skilled now, that is you will get only visas for 6 months. So if you have a salary of less than 2550, so the chance of getting a low skilled is very, very, very low, purely because the reason why this policy has even been devised is because um, there are a lot of people in New Zealand, New Zealanders who are unemployed. They could be fitting those lower scale positions, and that is exactly why the government is making efforts to ensure New Zealanders are supported, and New Zealand employers are offering these positions first to New Zealanders. Okay, yeah, I know it's a common notion with migrants saying, oh, you know what, they only want locals. Well, that's not the fact. You'll have to understand there is an underlying reason why they do that. Because if more and more people are unemployed and are depending on on work and income to take care of their expenses, that means there's more pressure on the system. There's more burden on the system that supports people, that supports New Zealanders. They don't want a lot of people to apply for benefit. They don't want a lot of people to apply for this work and incomes benefit to be able to take care of their expenses. So it puts a pressure on the economic situation, the money is available for the government to do other things. So more New Zealanders are employed, that means lesser people applying for benefits. So this is all connected, guys. And also the economy is connected. So more jobs can happen only if there is more development and more growth in other areas. So it's all a cycle. It's unfortunately, migrants are always saying that, oh, you know what, I think they want only New Zealanders. But please understand that they are also better fit for a lot of positions. So it is important that you have the right skills and superior skills. Aim for roles and jobs. Aim to gain skills that will make you a much more better candidate. So it is important that you upskill. So we've been doing a couple of webinars lately for all those people who are struggling to find jobs. We're talking about upskilling. Right now there is no opportunities. If there are no opportunities, you upskill yourself. Or first of all, how many of you don't even know that there is a gap analysis? Okay, there is a skills gap. How many of you are analyzing that there is a gap in your skills? That is a problem that we see with most people who come to us and say, hey, you know what, I'm not finding a job. We are finding that they simply don't understand what is the gap in their profile. So while I'm on this platform, I can tell you that anyone who would like to work with AJV, in case you're about to apply for your post-study work visa, we are happy to help you and offer you 5 important benefits of working with us and applying for your post-study work visa with us. First of all, we'll apply with you for your post-study work visa and it'll come through without a problem. Yeah. You obviously working with an advisor means that you have a direct connect with immigration, and it doesn't go into a big pool of 20-30,000 applications where you might get lost. Okay, so we have a direct line, we advisors have a direct line, so I can pick up the phone and talk to immigration directly, talk to the immigration officer or any managers whenever there is a problem. Second, you get we will do a skills gap analysis. We will provide you a report to say that, okay, what are the skills required for the roles that you're looking at, and what is the gap. Okay, where do you need to focus on. Third is you will get a 30-minute free consultation with a licensed immigration advisor to understand your pathway forward to residence. What kind of jobs, what is your background, what kind of jobs to apply for, what is the salary, where to focus on, which market to focus on, which role to focus on. And yeah, your skill, it will be in conjunction with your skills gap analysis report. Okay, and fourth one is you got free ongoing advice. So anytime you find a job, we can tell you, okay, whether this is good or not. That's one thing. So all these are advantages that we could offer you when you're applying for your for your job search, for your post study, or if you're already applied for your post study as well, we can offer you these services. Please do talk to us about it. You can send us an email to immigration advisor@ajvglobal.com so that we can guide you. If you're not an AJV student as well, talk to us. Yes, there will be a fee involved. It won't be free. I must tell you that it's important as a migrant for you to understand that a lot of services are paid services. You will have to first of all appreciate and value the professional advice being given to you. Nothing is available free of cost over here, so you will need to value the professional advice and the services being provided. And so if you do that, I'm sure we'll be able to come up with a good plan. And also you join the AJV group, so basically you be a part of the AJV network, the AJV funnel, so that we can also connect you to other students, other migrants, maybe job references and things like that. So it's a whole lot of benefits to work with us, even if you're just about to finish your program, right? Or if you're still studying, you could possibly even start working with us from now, because it'll help you with your future plan, right? So that's one thing. So besides that, so the work visa, as I've explained, it's very clear. Genuine attempts is important, plus the salary threshold part. Even if you're in the medium or the high skilled, middle or high skilled, you still require advertising. Only in certain areas you don't require advertising if your job belongs to an immediate shortage list, for example, teachers and nurses, or if you are on the long term or the absolute skill shortage list, and you have to meet all the requirements. There are certain jobs which will say that you need 5 years of experience post your qualification, so you need to meet the LTSSL precisely for the advertising part to be waived, because that has already been done. If you're in a shortage list, that means the government has determined that there are no New Zealanders for that position with such high skills, and that is the reason you don't need advertising. So that job has already been done, and an employer doesn't have to do separately. Okay, so that's what the requirement is. Now, changes in the residents, there is absolutely no changes that have happened in the resident category. I know there are a lot of people who have been writing to us and asking us and calling us saying, oh, is there a change with the resident visa, is there a change with the resident visa, I heard that this is going to be removed, that is going to be removed. Guys, you'll have to put a pause on this panic button, because there are no changes to resident visa application at this stage. The changes have only been done for work visa categories. Okay, so it is not for resident visa. Stop panicking. Secondly, I know a lot of people have started thinking, saying, okay, are they going to throw international students out? Okay, again, that's not going to happen. Okay, so you guys will need to pause for a second. If you all have a question, please send us an email. We will try and help you as best as we can. If you're an AJV or a non-AJV client or a student, doesn't matter, just send us an email to immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com and we will help you out. Right, so there are a few comments coming in, so I'm just going to quickly browse through them and check how we can look at them, address them. So okay, so I'm going to start with Facebook. So we've got Unil Pandit, one of our very good friends, clients. who judiciously watches all our sessions, mine, Arun's, the rest of the teams as well. So hi O'Neill, good to see you too. I hope you and the family are well. Right. We've got next Uni Krishnan, who says, "Hello, Mary. Good to see you. This is Uni from Nelson. I wanted to check if I can get a medical for my wife done at a GP, but do you have to make an application on our behalf, or is it enough to give the reference number as given last time?" Okay. I will have to check because why you will have to do a medical again. I will have to check if that was additional information. Why don't you just give us a call, or you know, being an AJV student, I think you should just give us a call and speak to us. Okay, just have a word with me or with Virginia, and we'll be able to help you sort that question out for you. Okay, thank you. Okay, next one is Jitin Prasad. He's a top fan. Hi, Jitin says, "Hello, Mary. Hope you're doing well." I'm doing very well. Thank you, Jitin. He's also an AJV student. So there are a few questions on on YouTube. Let me get to that. Okay, so we've got Manjeet Singh who has asked us a question, but he's not provided his contact details. Manjeet, can you please provide your contact information for me to answer that question for you? Thank you. We've got Prashurada as well, and you have not given us your number. Guys, sorry, I didn't start off the session by saying if you would like me to answer your question, if you're an AJV client, mention that you're an AJV client or a student. I know by and large all the names of our students, but we've been getting quite a few of them, and that's the reason I may not remember. But start with saying, or if you're already working with our team in India or anywhere else, please do mention that you're an AJV client and your advisor's details so that I can answer your question straight away. All those who are non-AJV, please give us your contact information, because sometimes it's simply not possible for us to answer your question on this live session because it's a public forum, but we will reach out to you and do provide that information. Thank you. So I'm just going to wait for the rest of you to give your contact information. We've got Gaurav Kasanya, who was given his number. So Gaurav, thank you very much. I'm going to answer your question. So Gaurav says, "Hello, ma'am. I have 5 years of experience in HR and working in India. I wanted to postgraduate diploma in HR from Waikato University. Can you support for my future in New Zealand?" Okay. Gaurav, thank you first of all for coming in. It's quite early in India, but thank you for coming in and watching this session. So Gaurav, I must tell you something. HR jobs in New Zealand are quite tough to get in. Also, they are quite scarce because um, the reason that there are not a lot of companies that do have HR people. Okay, so the only area that you could possibly get into is recruitment. Okay, where you don't work in because many 65% of the companies in New Zealand are small and medium businesses, and they do not need HR people. Okay, they're not that big in size. They're less than 10 in number. For that matter, in my company, I don't have an HR person at this stage. So that's how it is. That's how it works. They all manage it by themselves. A senior manager or a senior or the individual office managers handle HR aspects. So there may not be a definite HR, the opportunity for smaller companies. So you will have to go for larger companies, which are about 25-30% only. And those companies also, it's pretty hard to get unless you have local experience, because HR is very different here in New Zealand. So what I would suggest instead is for you to look at a broader, scope of course. If you want to do something in HR, you could do a course that has one of the papers in HR, but also has other areas. So this creates a backup for you. This creates a backup of opportunities for you, because you are supposed to find a job relevant to what you have studied or you're qualified in. So if you don't find a job, you by doing an extra paper or an additional paper, you're creating opportunity within that area. So in that sense, I would request you to look for a wider program. But if you want to do it purely for the learning and be able to go back or go elsewhere and work, that's fine. But within New Zealand, you may have a bit of a challenge to get into an HR role, directly. So my suggestion will be to do a wider program. And yes, of course, we will assist you in your application. We will help you get your admission. We work with Waikato University very, very closely. It is in the region where I live, where we are having a head office. AJV's head office is in Waikato. So we'll be more than happy to have you here. And please do connect with my team whenever they do speak to you. Thank you for your number. They will reach out to you later today. And do share your information and listen to what they have to say, and then you can take a call, because at the end of the day it's your choice. We will not push you to take a decision the way we seem fit, but we leave you to take a decision on that. Okay, so yeah, and hope to see you soon, Gaurav. Thank you very much. Okay, next question. I've got a few more questions, but nobody has really given us number. We've got Michelle D'Souza and Jerin Sunny, who also posted their questions on YouTube, but have not given their number, so it'll be great. Okay, so Michelle is an AJV client, so I'm just going to answer that. So Michelle says, hello, has the post-study work visa dropped from 3 years to 6 months? I plan on applying for Feb intake. Also, I am an AJV client. Well, Michelle, thank you for working with us. I'm surprised that you are worried about this and asking me on the forum. Did you not check with your advisor already? Because yeah, definitely post-study work visa has not dropped from 3 years to 6 months. I don't know, where did you get that information from? Again, people are assuming their own things. They're making their own assumptions around policy changes, but no, there has not been any change, Michelle. It is 3 years post-study for anyone who studied a bachelor's level or in the long term, a bachelor's level or higher. Yes, if you're studying a bachelor's level or higher, the post-study work visa is 3 years. So yeah, that's what the current policy is. It has not changed, and there is no intimation or that it might change sometime soon. Okay, so I think you should just go ahead and prepare for your Feb session. Go ahead and do that, and our advisors will assist you with that. Okay, right. We've got Abhishek Capri, who says, when will immigration start? Abhishek, I assume you're based in India and you're looking at um, um, coming to New Zealand from India or wherever you are. So immigration office in India right now is still shut. That's the processing office for student visas. At this stage, they're still not processed, and the borders are shut as well. So for international students, so we will have to just wait and see through this time. We don't really know. We have no indication from Immigration New Zealand or from the government as to when these will get back on track. Also, I think the countries from where we get a lot of students are right now not in a very great situation. India for that matter. I know the COVID situation is gone from bad to worse. So yeah, we will have to just see how the situation pans out, and we have no instruction on that yet. Okay. Okay. Next comment, we've got Sagar, one of our students. He says, good evening, AJV. Good evening, Sagar. Good to see you online. Okay. Next comment, we've got Chetan Surya. He says, I was an AJV student, but due to my work schedule, I'm not able to come through studies. I'm planning for skilled migration path. So what is the process? Thank you. And thank you, Mary and Arun, for the support. Okay. Thank you so much, Chetan. Chetan, the best way for you to check if you do qualify for a skilled migrant pathway is to send your CVs for assessment. However, I must tell you that direct migration is not possible. So whenever people do come to us, we do assess to see if direct migration is possible. 99% of the time it's not, purely because one of the most important criteria, one of the two most important criteria is, one is to either have a master's that you have studied in New Zealand for 2 years, and or you have skilled employment from a New Zealand employer meeting the salary threshold. Besides that, you need to get 160 points. So that combination is very, very rare of people who have a master's for 2 years and have 160 points and are based overseas. So unless you meet these criteria, it's impossible for you to get a direct, you don't meet the criteria for a skilled migrant pathway. So you have a word with our team. So just send your CVs to info@ajvglobal.com. we will then assess to see how else we can support. Right now, with the current situation, most of them are only qualifying for the student pathway, which is the most feasible pathway for a lot of people. Okay, just to have a word with your advisor and see how best we can help you. Okay, thank you. Michelle comes back and says, "Yes, Mary, I did. Nisha did tell me it hasn't happened, but I thought I'd confirm with you too." Well, um, irrespective of who you ask in AJV, we will all have the same information. That is the beauty of the way we work. Um, you will find very minimal discrepancies because the team is constantly updated of the changes. We always ensure that everybody is providing accurate information, especially when it comes to immigration matters. So you can be assured that whatever Nisha is informing, even if she is not sure, she will always cross check. The other best way to ensure that you're on top of all the information is to watch our Facebook sessions. That itself will tell you if there has been a change, if there has been a latest update. We will immediately put out a notice on that. So stay tuned to our Facebook web the page, AJV Global page, and you will get all the information. Thank you, Michelle, and hope to see you soon. Okay, we've got Sagar who says, "I'm happy that AJV is assisting in these times of crisis. Just want to say thank you to team AJV and Mary for always being on a toes for the same." Thank you, Sagar, and I'm hope we also got you out of a little bit of a ditch there. But yeah, we are here to help our own, and also the ones that are struggling who are not our AJV students. We tend to we notice that non-AJV students are the ones who actually need more help and support because they seem to have nobody here to who they can pick up the phone and talk to. We are happy to assist. We are happy to take you guys under our umbrella and work with us. So it is important that you need somebody in these times when you don't know what next, how, when. There are a lot of questions. So it's best you do work with us, no matter what stage in your pathway to residence you are in. Please do talk to us and work with us. And yeah, it will help you very much. And our AJV students are very confident, and they are very blessed to have that net, that support always, because they know who to speak to. Okay, so yeah, just make use of that opportunity. Right. There are a few more people who have posted on YouTube, but guys, if you all can share your number, I can answer your questions. Otherwise, I will have to just skip them. Sorry. To get something, you'll have to give something. So all we ask is your phone number and your email address. So that'll be great. Okay. We've got Sajila, one of our students, who says, "Hi, Mary." She's an AJVian. She says, "Hi, Mary, Sajila, AJVian here. No further questions. Immense thanks for the session. Hope you will be there with us in the future too, as you've always been there." Thank you so much. It's so heartwarming, guys, that you guys are taking the time and even adding those 2 or 3 lines. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate all you people. First of all, we must thank you guys for deciding to work with us. I mean, we are who we are because of our clients, and because you guys have been such amazing people, and you're always uh, worked well with us. I think that's what it is. We have an amazing what do you say, wavelength with our students, and yeah, we're all here to help each other and also support each other. So that's what it is. Okay, right. So okay, so I'm just going to quickly check through other questions. I see my team is not in yet. They start only at about 4 o'clock our time, which is in about a minute. So otherwise, I would have had some more questions and queries from my team. So it's kind of quiet. If anybody else is just watching and want to wait at the last minute to ask questions, you better ask now, because if there are no more questions coming in with phone numbers, I will obviously kind of wrap up the session and move on. So yeah. Okay, so let's see. Okay. I have one more comment here. We've got Jafar Sohail who says, "Hi, Mary, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good. As I'm your old student, I've been in New Zealand in 2007 from AJV, done level 7 in hardware networking, came back in 2009 after some work in 2016 to 18, done masters. Now, again, is it possible for looking at PhD to apply without IELTS or PTE? Okay. Sohail, thank you so much. I kind of vaguely remember your name, and yes, we'll be happy to help. And if you have, so we will have to check to see if you do qualify to apply for PhD. First of all, PhD is going to be very, very difficult because PhD is a research based topic and you will need to find a guide. Sohail, so um, have a word with my team. I've got your number here. My team will connect with you. Okay. And my team will connect with you and they will basically tell you how it works. Okay, but it's not going to be easy. Yeah, PhD is one of the most difficult processes, and hence I recommend you to first have a word with us, and we'll see how it works. Okay, we'll see whether you are eligible to apply for a PhD or not, whether you have a research proposal ready or not. So have a word with my team, Sohail, whenever they connect with you, and then you can take a decision whether you should do a PhD, or if you're very, very keen to come to New Zealand, then maybe you have to look at alternate options. Okay, so yeah, my team will connect with you and you can have a word and see. Right, any others who are waiting to ask questions? It'll be great. Okay, we've got somebody called Dominic Jacob who is also asking us a question, but please provide us your phone number, Dominic, so that we can answer. um I'll, however, still answer your question. It says, "Hi Mary, some of colleges doing November 2020 intake. Is it possible to apply for that intake?" So I know a lot of you might be wondering about border restrictions being lifted. We don't really know. I'll be honest with you. We're all working with a hope and assumption that at least by November or February the borders will be reopened. But again, we simply do not have any indication of that. I would say apply, be ready whenever the immigration office is starting to process applications. They will work on them, and hopefully the borders will be also reopened by then. So yeah. Right, so next question we've got Bijoy, who says, oh, and he's deleted the question within a second. I had to read that. Okay, I kind of read your question. So Bijoy wants to know if his offer can be deferred. Yes, Bijoy, your offer can be deferred. But I know that you've applied for the Feb 2021 session. So if you're keen, go ahead and process your application and we'll see how it works. Okay. Okay. Sagar comes back with some more comments. He says things are going crazy with COVID and financial distress. I want to recommend would want to recommend to every AJV student, non-AJV student, to just be straightforward with your situation, which would enable AJV to figure out the best possible solution. Well said, Sagar. I know that you've learned from your little own fiasco that happened, but yes, anyone, it's like we are like your doctors, guys. You can't. It's like you cannot lie to two people or hide the facts for two people. One is doctors and one is lawyers. The second one is lawyers. So we are almost lawyers in immigration law. So you should be honest with us and open, all the details that you've hidden. Tell us everything so that we can figure out what the situation is, because sometimes the situation may seem straightforward, but there'll be a lot of complications. It's always best to discuss, and it'll be great if you can talk to us in advance and not have this, the issue piling up till the last minute. Okay. Right. Okay, O'Neill Pandit further comes back and says, "Hi, Mary. I have family friends who are still on work visas for almost 10 years but now want to apply for residence. Is there an age limit? So I recommend them to come to you, but they are 54. O'Neill, I think they're at a pressure point right now because there is a age cutoff for skilled migrant category. Specifically, it's 55. So whatever they do, they have to do now. Please give them my number. I'm more than happy to talk to them. Please share my number with them. I'll be happy, or you can share their number with me. I'll speak to them and help them out. But yeah, it is definitely a very critical situation, and they will have to act upon this as soon as possible. Okay. Yeah. Okay, who else? Right, I think we're kind of exhausted with all the questions. Mm, right. Team, is there anything else? Because my team is just coming in slowly. If there's anything else that you would like me to address, questions, I'll be happy to do that. Okay. Okay. And all those who are watching, please, please do provide your contact information. It'll be great. Somebody comes back and says, yeah, you should not hide from CAs as well. That's well said. Yes. Yeah. CAs also. You're chartered accountant as well. You'll get, otherwise, that is also another place where you'll get into trouble. Well said. Yeah. Doctors, lawyers, CAs, and immigration advisors. Four people now. Okay. Yeah. You should always tell us the fact. Yeah. Right. All those who have not shared your details, contact information, there's no way for us to contact you guys unless you share your contact information with us. Please, please do so. Sagar, you're asking about points. There's no changes again in that as well. There are no changes. It is 160 point selection at this stage. There has been no changes on that as on today. Yeah. I mean, tomorrow what will happen, I cannot say. But today the policy still says 160 points. Okay. Yes. And Sagar says a lot of people are worried about the same, as this is a great opportunity for getting a job provided the qualification we hold. That's right. Yes. I mean, anybody who studied in New Zealand finds a job outside Auckland, there is a 99% chance you will qualify if you are under the age of 39. So all the trick is to find a job outside Auckland, so that you get that 160 points, and nothing. You won't be short of anything. Even if you're single, you're married, you'll be fine. You'll get that 160 points. So yes, that's true. Okay. Oh, we've got one more comment here. Says Sanjeev Kumar. He's an AJV client. He says, "Hello, ma'am. I'm an AJV client with Mariam. Ma'am, I have offer an MIT for Masters in Applied Management. What is the scope of it, and with major subject in healthcare management?" Sanjeev, a very good program if you come from the area of business. It's good for you to do a generic business program so that you can do multiple papers across different roles and industry. So I think it is a good course, and I've seen people from this program getting into very, very different areas work. I've got one who's working in operations, one is working in warehouse management, one is working one of them is working with us, Virginia, who also studied this similar course. I've got someone who's working as a health and safety manager at Heinz. So I've got people across different roles doing the same program. This only goes to show the diversity of the program, but at the end of the day, it depends on your skill. We are confident about AJV students because the quality of people we work with is extremely high. AJV students have a very, very high conversion rate from being a student to resident. We are tracking at nearly 65 to 70% in the first 3 years. That's because our quality is very high, whereas the country is only tracking at 19% of international students becoming residents. We are tracking nearly at 65%, which is very, very high. That only goes to show that we are also guiding them properly, and we're also getting very, very high quality people who we are working with. So if you're working with us and if you've decided to work with us, that means you're one of those very good quality people who have a 65 to 70% chance of becoming a resident within the first 3 years. For some people, it's taking a bit longer because they could be somebody with a gap in skills again, or it could be somebody who's a fresher, but eventually people are getting there. Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is, Sanjeev. And I think you should confidently go ahead with that program if you are from a BCom background or a business administration or a management background. Yeah. Okay. Next comment we've got Vijay Ashish, who says, "My name is Ashish." Ashish, sorry, I won't go through this question completely because you have not provided us your contact information. Please give me your number so that, okay, good. I think even before I completed that, he has pasted his number. Thank you so much, Ashish. So you're working in Qatar since 10 years as system admin. I plan to migrate to New Zealand. I don't want do not have graduation after 10th. I went to 2 year ITI only. Let me know the possibility. Okay, so Ashish, it won't be right for me to do an assessment of your profile without having all the information. You have given me a brief, but we still need to see your ITI diploma and get some more information about you. Why don't you send us a CV to info@ajvglobal.com, your CV and of your spouse if you're married. I would need to see your work experience as well, and then we will assess to see whether, as I said, there's no direct migration pathway available. We could see there's another alternate option, which is a skilled migrant category job search visa. But however, we still need to do assessment of your profile, and we will tell you what are the pathways available. So please do send us a CV of yourself and your spouse. We will, as my team will assess and get in touch with you accordingly. Thank you. Okay, we've got Rizwan Joffer, who's also put in his question, but has not provided his phone number. Rizwan, could you please provide your number, please? Thank you. Vivek Anandan, he says, "Hi Mary, I'm not an AJV student but wanted to process through AJV. Kindly suggest if it's advisable to study level 7 in 2021 as post-study work visa is only for 1 year." Vivek, very good question. Can you please give me your number so that I will have someone to contact you? Yes, you can study a level 7. If you start by February, you'll be able to finish by December. And if you study outside Auckland, you will get 2 years post-study work visa. However, let's try and find out why should you do a level 7. Yeah, we could possibly look at a level 8 program. So we'll have to assess to see, Vivek, why first of all you need to do only a level 7. So please do share your information with us, your contact number. My team will then do a proper assessment and discuss. Okay, thank you. Okay. So Sagar, thank you so much. He's been posting all his, good feedback over here. So he says the university you choose for us makes a huge difference too. That's what locals told us too, that the place of study made a difference for me to get my first ever job in New Zealand. So Mary Joseph is right again. Thank you, Sagar, and I'm glad that has worked well for you. Okay, so we've got one of our students, Uni Krishna, who's come back and said, "My daughter has got unconditional offers for a couple of politics. She has a conditional offer from UC and waiting for her unconditional offer for Feb 2021 intake, and that's her preference. Should she wait for it to come through as it's still time in hand? All through AJV. Secondly, can I pay her fees from NZ then in NZ when time comes?" Okay, so again, Uni Krishna, I think we will have to look at your situation, properly. If you've already applied through us, I think you should talk to your advisor. Is your daughter here in New Zealand? I'm not sure, because if she is, then my team here will be processing her application. So if she's not and she's based overseas, here she's still back in your home country, then I think you should talk to your advisor. If you show funds here, of course you can pay from here. Okay, so you will have to discuss all these things with your advisor, and your advisor will be able to answer this clearly. Thank you. Okay, next we've got Anand. Hi Anand, he's also one of our students. He says, "Ma'am, do I need to start my skilled migrant visa from now on? From now itself, being my current work visa expiring next year October, considering delays with immigration?" Anand, you I don't know why you're waiting. If you're qualifying, go ahead and apply. So give me a call. I've got your number, but give me a call. Let's discuss this tomorrow, because immigration is now taking on an average anywhere between 18 months to 24 months. So if your visa is expiring next year, you have to act upon it straight away. So give me a call, Anant. I'm going to wait for your call to see how we can get started with your resident application. Okay, great. Thank you. Rizan gives his number again, so I'm just going to go back and answer that for him. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm just struggling through. Okay. Right. Rizan wants to know, just want to know if I could get an exemption for CA in New Zealand. I have CMA Australia. I've applied for a master's program through AJV. Like to know any possibility of getting through my master's as well. Okay, interesting. So, Rizan, we will have to see because there are different associations when it comes to the chartered accountants. You've got CPA Australia and you've got something else as well. So, it depends on where you require your registration or your professional, accreditation to be done as a chartered accountant. It depends. I and honestly, I am not an expert in this area. I'll admit we have not really spent a lot of time understanding how the registration. I don't know whether they're called registration or licensing, but for to be a CA in New Zealand, I honestly do not have much information. I think they are called licenses because it is an area where you need occupational registration to be a chartered accountant in New Zealand. So they're definitely a license. So there are more than one bodies from where you can get these registrations or licenses. So I think you should do a bit of research yourself and come to me with more information, and then I can look into it as well. So we don't get a lot of people because also becoming a chartered accountant in New Zealand is quite challenging. So we don't get the easiest way to do is to do a professional accounting program which also qualifies for the chartered accountants registration. Um, so I think we need to do a bit of research more. Have a word with your advisor at AJV. We've got some really smart advisors who do help our students as well understand these things. So just have a word with your advisor, and we'll see how best we can help you in this. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Who's next? Sagar, you better text me for all your other questions now. Sagar wants to know when's the next meetup in Auckland. I've missed to want to see you all. Sagar, I think you have to drive down to Hamilton with a box of chocolates after you, or depends, whatever you want to treat us with after you get your, post study work visa. So, yeah. So, I think next time you should come and see us in Hamilton. But yeah, it's been a while. All those HAV students are watching us. Yes, it's been a while. We have done catch up sessions. Let's do one soon. We've been busy as well with people finishing courses, applying for post study work visa and things like that. We've been quite busy as well, but hopefully we'll do something very very soon. Okay, so we'll let you know when we do set up one. Yeah. Thank you, Sagar, and the rest of the AJV students who are watching. Okay. Um, So we've got Preet Josan who says, can you please explain about Master of Teaching and can I support my spouse for work visa in this course? But recently NZ government changed rules to support spouse on work visa. Preet, yes, a Master of Teaching program is very good, especially because it is a direct pathway into your teacher's registration here with the New Zealand Teachers Council, and it also is a priority occupation for you to apply for a residence visa, and your application will be processed on a priority queue. Yes, it's a very good program to study, and you can support your spouse if you are coming on a master's program. Yes, absolutely. And thank you for sharing your number. My team will connect with you and they will help you out on that. Yeah. Okay, right. Let me just check if we've got any more questions on YouTube. Gaurav. Okay, Gaurav has come back and okay, Gaurav is asking further question. He says, which course can I choose over HR in Waikato University? Okay. Gaurav, there are good programs within Waikato University as well. They've got an amazing MBM program and they've got a PG diploma in business as well. I would suggest you to, consider the business program. Look at the papers. I think at the end of the day, it's the papers that you study. Should be papers that you can relate to and you understand what they are. Please don't do fancy subjects like, strategic management and organizational change, where, you're not at that level yet to be a part of that strategic team. Here in New Zealand, you're still at an entry level. So don't take any courses that have very fancy subjects. Something that is basic, and that's something you can relate to. It's very, very important, because otherwise all that learning will be for nothing if you're not able to relate to the subject that you're going to learn. Okay, so please do choose your courses and your the courses wisely. It's very important. It's a very important thing to do in your entire journey of your getting a residence here in New Zealand, because it is directly connected to your skills. Okay. Okay, some more questions there without phone numbers. I'm going to skip them all. Sorry about that, guys. You will have to provide your contact information for me to answer your questions. Right. Any more questions? Anything else? Team, is there anything else that you'd like me to touch upon? Okay. Okay then. So yeah, just I think I'm going to wrap up my session now. So as I've mentioned from the beginning, guys, all who are not working and you do not have a support system here, you do not have an agency or a team that can support you, please do talk to us, work with us. We see a lot of students day in and day out talking to us, calling us and saying, you know what, we came into the wrong program, or we don't really know where to go from here, because we don't even know what a career pathway, we don't know what kind of jobs to apply for, we don't know even if the job that we are getting is enough for us to apply. Yeah, I'm getting my salary, but is that role skilled? Because there are certain roles that clearly are not in the highest skilled, because for the skilled migrant category, the AND score is still relevant. So you need to find a job between 1, 2, and 3 for your resident visa, with the salary of 2550. If you are above that, sorry, if you are lower than that in terms of skill level, then you need to have a 38.25 per hour salary, which is very, very difficult to get for a low skill job. Talk to us, guys. It is very, very important for you to talk to us, so that we can assess to see where you fit, what help you need, and what kind of upskilling you need for you to be able to do well here in New Zealand. Talk to us and we'll be able to assist you. You can call us on our toll free number here in New Zealand. It's 0800 696977, which basically translates to my NZPR when you type on your phone. So it is 0800 696977, or you can send us an email to immigrationadvisor@ajbglobal.com. This is for people who are within New Zealand. If you're contacting us from anywhere across the globe apart from New Zealand, actually New Zealand, Fiji, and Australia, you can contact us on these details, on these numbers, because it is handled directly by my team. We are a team, we handle the Pacific region. And anybody else from out of these 3 countries, please email us at info@ajvglobal.com. Send us your CVs, send in a brief query, and my team will connect. We've got people across India and across other parts of the world. We've got somebody in Malaysia, we've got someone in the UK, we've got someone in I think Oman, yeah, in Oman. So we are a big team, and no matter where you are, in whatever time zone you are in, we can assist you, we can help you. Borders have never been a problem. For by now, borders are never an issue. People are still continuing with their jobs, holding good businesses, everything's happening. So yeah, so do connect with us and we'll be able to assist you. Thank you very much for all of you for coming in and watching this session. For all those who woke up, who are quite, I see it's clearly very early in India, but you've come in and watched this session. Thank you very much. And for those questions I've missed, my team will connect with you and answer your questions. Please do leave your phone numbers. Thank you, Kaki Teano, and good night. It's almost time for us to leave work as well. So thank you very much.